What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to the What Was I Saying podcast.
That is actually 7:30, but it feels like 11:30 for some reason.
Is that clock wrong behind me?
No, it's right. But I'm just saying it feels like it. When you go outside, it's like super dark.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
When I got back today, I sat at the computer for a little bit, and then I looked outside, or I walked into the kitchen where I have those curtain things, and it's pitch dark. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there went the whole day.
It's crazy. Somebody tell me it's like the days are getting shorter and everything. I don't understand all that side stuff. But thank you guys for listening.
Yep.
We're not leaving, but I'm just saying thank you guys for listening.
All right. See you in the next one.
It didn't sound like I was wrapping it up. Like,
yeah.
Everybody's like, that is the world's best podcast. It's 2 minutes long.
Everybody watched it to the end.
It's the best. And YouTube's like, no. More than 2 minutes. So anyway, how are you?
I'm good, man. I just saw Santa Claus ride by on the fire truck.
That was the coolest thing.
Because we're sitting there and you're like, you hear all the fire truck noises, and Jeremy's like, I think something bad is going on out there. And I was like, okay, well, that must be an ambulance going by. And it kept getting closer and
then
closer.
You said, I think that's just Santa Claus on a fire truck. Said,
oh, yeah.
What?
Jeremy's like, oh, yeah, of course it is. You walk outside, and it's Santa Claus on a fire truck.
Throwing candy canes that are broken.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
I read it on the neighborhood app. It's like
you have a neighborhood app?
Yeah.
Y'all, you live in a fancy place.
Well, I didn't know anything about it. My
Gulf
sister told
Breeze
me
is
about it.
fancy. It's like if you, it's like Daphne or Fairhope fancy.
Well, every morning I get on, it's somebody else yelling about somebody else's dog.
Oh my God, I have the best story.
All right, what is it?
It just hit me when you said that. So last night, it was cool. Like me and Matt never see each other outside his house or trivia.
Yeah.
Like we've never seen each other outside Gulf Breeze. Have you ever realized that?
Not until right now.
Last night was the first time like Matt came to Pensacola because we had like a little birthday shindig. We went to this place called Hop Jacks, and you tried the burrito, which changed your life. I told you it would.
Oh heck yeah!
I told you.
I like that. You put that on anything, and I'll eat it.
I'm telling you, just bacon, brie, and artichoke, and it was just divine.
Yeah. And
with pita bread. And so anyway, my buddy's moving to those apartments downtown that they're building. And somebody said, yeah, I hear they're DNA in the dogs. And we were like, this is before you got there. And we were like, DNA in the dogs? Listen to what they're going to do. They're going to DNA the dog's poop. So that way, in case they find it, they know whose it is. Have you ever heard of such in your life? I am not making this up. Literally, they're going to do that.
I think there's more to it than that.
I think there's more to do in life than that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
this is somebody's poop. Like people got so pissed off that dogs are crapping in the yard. And it's not open yet.
I guess they're like setting the pres. Remember that? There's that word again. Precedent. Why can't I say this dang word? Precedent. I said it. Okay, they're setting the precedent.
Yeah.
I can't say it. Before it even opens, they're like, so let you know if your dog poops, we're gonna know who it is.
You think that's one of those things where, if you pee in the pool, it'll turn blue, but it was just a false story?
No. I mean, if they make them turn in a bag full of it, it's true.
Or is it? Because
really?
the school used to drug test us, and then they would always cut one person's hair, and I think they just threw the hair in the trash.
Your school would drug test?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Oh, man, I went to school with like 65 people.
Oh.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they actually did. Now, they did do the dip test.
No, are you saying that they told you they were drug testing you, or did they really drug test you?
No, they actually did. But
I have never heard of drug testing in school.
They cut somebody's hair.
What does that mean, though? The test in your hair?
Yeah, it basically goes back further. So you can pee like weed out within 3 days if you don't smoke it a lot. Hair, they say, goes back, a month. I've heard 2 months, 3 months. But
the reason I
should have gotten busted 100 times.
I just didn't think you lived in an area though that would think that you would even need a drug test. You know what I mean? Not that I've been to your hometown, but it just didn't seem like the kind of area that it's drug ridden.
It was me, Brian, Chad, and John, and we were buddies. And we would smoke a little pot every now and then, and we kind of we weren't like stoners.
Yeah.
But we definitely would have failed. Well, it was like the last week of my senior year or the last month.
Yeah.
The last drug test of the year. And he went ahead and he's like, yep, I'm about to bust him right now. Got me, Chad, and John. Well, I saw Chad.
Is it random or is the whole class?
It's supposed to be random. But like he looks around the class and he's like, I'm going to need Chad. And then he's like, bam, bam, bam. I mean, he knew who he was getting because he got all 4 of us that day. So I saw John and Chad and them going, and I'm like, oh crap! So I ran down to my buddy's classroom where he was at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, Ballard. And I don't know how this worked because I walked in, like, she was basically almost like fixing teaching. I'm like, I need to talk to Ballard real quick. It was Matt Ballard. Was his name? Because I was Matt Bowler and he's Matt Ballard.
That's too close.
Yeah. So we just called him Ballard and I was Bowler. So I was like, I need to talk to Ballard real quick. And she just kind of nodded his head. I was like, come here. And somehow she let him out. If I'd have done that any other day, she'd have been like, about what? No. Go back to class. Yeah. You need a note, blah, blah, blah.
I'm drug testing you right now.
And so I was like, look, and I guess my look on my face was, I need to talk to Ballard like right now.
Yeah.
And so, we lived in Demopolis and would drive to school. So we'd carpool and stuff. So maybe she thought of something like that. So I'm like, dude, I need your piss right now. And so we ran to the bathroom real quick. All right. And I already had this pill bottle. And what you do with this pill bottle, it's like a prescription pill bottle. You take the label off of it completely. And then you get somebody to pee in it. And you can, I know it sounds bad, but whatever. You can tuck it in between your balls and your leg.
Shut
Like this. I know you can't see me, but just boom, like that. If you were to.
Oh, my God.
And what that does is it keeps it warm. And you can walk around all day because it's just wedged right there. Yeah. And you could just, boom, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Well, Ballard had peed into it for me. I stuck it under there.
Because he was good. Ballard was a...
Oh, yeah. Ballard never did. I mean, he didn't really drink or anything. Yeah. He got a lot of women, but he never did. Yeah. He never touched the drug parts of it. So I go walking out of the bathroom. Mr. Davis is right there with Chad. Boom. Come on, Bowler, let's go. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Drug test. I'm like, oh, okay. I act like it wasn't no big deal. The timing could not have been any better. We walked down, and I don't know if we got somebody else. He was looking for John. He hadn't gotten to the school yet. So we walked back up, and they picked out the other girls that partied in our school. Like, he was going after all the people that partied. I don't know if he got wind of something or what. So I went in there, and I saw Brittany and Jordan, and they were all in there. And I was trying to look at their faces.
I think every school has a Brittany and a Jordan. I'm trying to put that
probably,
up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, every school has that.
And so they were in there, and then they threw in, like, Haley and Allison or whatever.
Of course, every school has
They
a
had
Haley
to throw in just a goody good that wasn't in it. So to wrap this story up, Ballard, the nurse lady, gave me the, because they had to get her from Demopolis. I knew the lady. And she's like, all right, here's your cup. Go to the thing. Well, Mr. Davis normally will have to walk to the bathroom with you. Well, I got my cup.
Well, they normally stand outside the door, don't they?
Well, I got my cup, and I walked on out. And as soon as I got around the hallway, I dead sprinted to the bathroom. Woo! Sprinted, got in there, pulled the cap off of it real quick, dumped it in the cup, pulled it back up, put the thing back underneath my nuts, had a cup full of piss. Now, Ballard has just taken vitamins in the morning. And I don't know if you know, whenever you take vitamins, it makes like B12 or C. It makes your pee just solid fluorescent.
Really?
Well, it was so bad and it smelled. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit. I'm like, whatever. And then I'm starting to think as I walk up, and Mr. Davis is like, how'd you get down so fast? You running down here? Blah, blah. I said, no, man, I just got to pee. I was like, I walked
I have
out.
To pee.
And he didn't make me take the piss or anything, so I just walked it up there. And I walk in, and the girls are back in there, of course, and they're like, "Ugh, your pee stinks. It's all orange and yellow and blah blah." I'm like, "Yeah, it's vitamins, whatever." I'm just playing it off. And then as she's dipping that stick in there, I'm going, "Man, if Ballard was around something and I didn't know about it, I'm gonna be freaking screwed." So I'm just sitting here sweating. I'm like, phew. She's like, "Okay, you're good," and I'm like, "All right, appreciate it." Walked out. Mr. Davis was still kind of looking at me weird, as I walked on back to class. But timing is everything.
I feel like it's
was a perfect
Saved by the Bell episode or something. Like,
it saved
it's just
my
so
ass.
funny though, because I just don't imagine drug tests in school just fascinates me. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Well, they would cut people's hair too. There's always one that they would cut their hair, and I think that was just to give, because they would actually cut your hair.
Yeah.
But they cut my hair before. And then it never came back with anything. And I'm like, well, I know that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So.
That's fascinating, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was never anything sketchy. It was just like weed or something. But
I'm like I said, I think we've talked about this before. I've only done pop brownies one time, and they were, which I'm not a big chocolate person anyway. So it just was like, it didn't do nothing for me at all. I think because I didn't eat enough, because I don't really care for chocolate. So it was like, here you are like, oh, I'm going to get this pop brownie, but you're like, making yourself eat something that you don't even want to eat,
Yeah, it's a different kind of feeling.
It is. I remember one time I had because normally like if you get hurt on your job, you have to pee right after that for like a workers' comp thing.
Yep.
And so I remember one time I literally just peed and I went into the warehouse and I used to work at this place called the Scooter Store. So like the old people scooters and chairs, So I put those together and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had an old one set up where we made a pallet on wheels. We attached it to the back of it. So you got a scooter and you got a pallet on the back of it. So we'd set our cardboard boxes on there and then ride them out to the dumpster.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the bunch was about to fall, so I reached back there to grab it. And when I did that, I pulled my back, like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pulled my back muscle. And, of course, with workers' comp, you got to go. But again, I just peed. And and like for some reason now, I guess the older I've gotten, my bladder's gotten tiny. I pee like crazy now, but then it was forever. So I'm literally like next to the cup thing, just drinking. Then I had to poop. So I'm like, so you go up there because I'm like, because I go to the window. And she's like, he's ready. I'm like, well, not really. It's like I gotta do the other. I didn't know what else to say. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to watch me poop. Because
you should have just put the poop in the cup and been like, yeah, here's my drug test.
Deuces, literally.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so that was the most awkward thing. So I finally did pee because you had to. I mean, you couldn't just, because if you left, it would have looked so suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was there for almost 2.5 hours. And it was getting like almost like 4:30 when I peed because they closed at 5. And I was sweating. I was like, oh, God. You know what I mean? I got to pee. Because even though I knew I didn't do nothing wrong, they don't know me from Adam. Even the people there, they probably just thought, they thought I could be a drug guy. They didn't know it was a workers' comp thing. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. When I was at the paper mill, I worked during the summers when I was 18 and 19. And you're basically just the lowest of the low, but they treat you like everybody else there, And basically where I'm from, if you don't work at the mill and you stay in the hometown, you're not, there's no opportunity to do anything else. So my stepdad got me a job out there. And it was just, summertime, weed eating, crap like that, right? So I took the drug test, and the nurse looks at you. She looks at your thing and everything. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap, can I get like a chub or something maybe before I can do this? Because it was just dead soft. I'm like, yeah, whatever. What are you going to do?
So funny. So, she's looking at you while you're peeing?
Yeah.
Like, see, I didn't think they could do that. I knew they had to stand outside the door, but to actually stare at you, that's crazy.
She was right there.
Because if you would have did your whole switcheroo thing, you would have got.
Well, now they have like Whizinators that look like a fake dick.
Ugh.
And all this.
I can't even think about it.
So I went ahead and passed the drug test. Well, the summer before, I didn't get drug tested all summer.
Yeah.
And during the summer, I think I might have smoked once or twice with my high school buddy.
Yeah.
And it was right around that time. And then all of a sudden, I got a ride from the gate to the other with Wilbur, who was my boss.
Wilbur. I've always wanted a friend named Wilbur.
And he was kind of over the service crew. And he was like, you need to go up there and take a drug test. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, hold on. Nope, you're not on the list. So la-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, my God. I run back in there, and my other buddy, Matt, worked there, Matt Lee. And I'm like, dude, they're drug testing us. He's like, I know, I'm not on it. And then my buddy Connor, or Conrad, rather, was his name. And he was like, dude, I'm over here. I was sweating bullets. I'm not on it. Well, Buddha was our other guy.
I think that had to be a nickname.
Yeah, it was. Okay. And his real name was Tyler. So, anyway, he was like, gone. And we're like, oh, he's freaking screwed. Never came back.
So he didn't even get tested?
No, he got tested and fired.
Fired. Wow.
Yep, fired. And that could have been me. I didn't smoke the rest of the summer. But I was never a big pot smoker, but it was always, the times I did it, I had to dodge bullets. Boom, boom, boom. Dude, I've been lucky on these things, man. And I had Tylenol PM show up, too, one time.
One time... It was a random one. Of course, I passed it, but it was, I think, one time. But last couple of jobs I've had, I remember I called my boss, my new boss. I said, I'm not starting to this date. When do I do a drug test? She's like, we don't drug test. She's like, smoke it if you got it. That's what she said. I was like, oh, okay. So, it's just weird how some people do, some people don't. And so marijuana probably stays in there. So say you take something like ecstasy or Molly or something like that. That probably just in and out of your system like overnight.
Well, Molly is the pure form. I'm sound like a drug person.
Like you know about it.
But the if you take like ecstasy and it's, heroin based or crystal meth based or whatever, like your triple stacks.
Yeah.
It just depends on there.
Triple sec or triple sex?
Triple stack, like a stack, like you're stacking it on top of somebody, like your blue dolphins and your King Kongs, and
holy crap!
Yeah, man.
So much.
I took ecstasy my junior prom, and my senior prom, and then only one other time after that.
I think what surprises me, knowing where you live, that all this stuff was up there.
Oh man, I went to a small private school. We had to figure out something.
But I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, like you live in like a little rural kind of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not a big city town, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we had to go to the bigger cities to get it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was, you always had that one guy that could get it. That always did it.
Yeah.
But junior prom, it was like, we took it right before we walked out, and that was kind of bad. So senior year, we waited until, and it was the same. It was my same buddies, but I think 6 of us took it. And man, we were rolling.
So what would have happened? Like, hypothetically, so if you got caught that day, are you suspended? Or are you expelled? What was the punishment? How harsh was it?
If I would have got busted that day, I'm sure they would have had to gone through all the stuff.
I
would have still graduated probably. They waited till I was done with sports to drug test me. Oh. I swear, that's really what it was.
Yeah.
And then I think if you do acid or something, it shows, or shrooms, you have to get spinal taps.
Have you ever had a spinal tap? Dude, that is one of the most painful things you'll ever have in your entire life.
Oh, I bet.
When you first have it done, it's like a very bad bee sting, but it takes you a long time to recover from it because you don't realize your spine is one of those things that you don't realize. Just every little movement you do, your spine moves at some point, everything. And so every little movement, it just sounds like somebody's stabbing you. Because I used to have bad headaches, so they thought, because they check your for like meningitis and stuff like that, they check your spine. I'm telling you, that is one of the worst procedures ever.
Dude, I could see that though, because I mean, people that the coach down at Mobile, like the assistant coach or whatever, committed suicide, and they're like, "Why?" He just said, "Because nothing would help his back pain," and he was in so much pain because he had so many surgeries, and he would take all these pills, and now you're addicted to pain pills. Yeah. And you're like, well, I can't help but take them. My back hurts.
Yeah.
And then finally, he just got so sick of the pain, he killed himself.
Yeah.
So when you think of that, you're like, yeah, back pain's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's why they tell like old people don't get hip replacements unless you absolutely need them.
Have to, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's got really bad arthritis, like wrapped around her spine. There's only like the closest doctor is Tampa. They'll do surgery. That's another thing too. A lot of doctors nowadays, they're so afraid to do back surgery because one little. You could paralyze someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's very few doctors in the nation that will specialize or do something like that. So that's pretty crazy though. And like the opioid, yeah, that's like a big epidemic now because like I deal with a lot of patients and I see some of their files and there's like doctors are firing them because they make them go through certain rules, and if they don't do those rules, those doctors fire them because the doctors are they're being put in jail. There was a big bust in Mobile, I think last year. Like 2 or 3 doctors got fired. And
oh yeah, dude, the opioid, especially up north, man. And it's starting to, they're starting to get a little control on it. But
it is one of those things too. Like one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. You know what I mean? Because there are people who legit need it. Because like our first dispensary opened, I think is downtown. Like a couple weeks ago, our first medical marijuana place, and because we're legal this year. I think that was one thing we voted on. It's funny, we voted on it November of 2016, and we just now opened it. It tells, I guess, how long it...
Holy crap. We have one of these in Pensacola?
Yeah.
And I'm not... Dude, I can't smoke weed now and go out. Like, I'm super quiet when I'm on it. Like, I'm just antisocial. But I might at least get me a medical thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if my sister would write me one. I doubt it. I wouldn't ask her for that.
And I think they have, like... I don't know if this one does, but I heard, like, some of the ones in California, like, they'll have, like... the lollipops or there's candy and stuff like that. So it's not just, medicinal, after my buddy, he went through cancer. I guess I don't know. Like if you don't know something about it, sometimes you're just like, oh, I don't like it, but then until you learn about it and then your views change on things.
Yeah. That's with anything.
And to me, I've always been like that. I used to in school, cause I was known as preacher kid. So I would act like I wanted to become a Jehovah's Witness so I could get the material so I could read up on it. So that way I would know what they believed in.
Right.
So I lied to like my Jehovah's Witness friends. So I, because I always believe that you can't just say you don't like something or you don't believe in something or they're this, unless you know about it.
It's hard. It's hard for people, especially now, dude, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because if somebody were to give just with anything and they go, no, have you looked at it from this side of the thing? And they were completely wrong. So they have like cognitive dissonance or whatever. They'll find something out of there and that helps them agree with what they're saying. Or they'll
read that one Facebook article, which is all BS.
Or read the tagline or the headline.
And then they're like, oh, I don't believe in your blah, 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 blah. You know, like I actually have a, not as much anymore, but I used to have a lot of Muslim friends.
Yeah.
And so people want to just go straight to, they want to blow stuff up, stuff like that. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's a touchy thing with it. That's a big, huge debate. Yeah. But even on smaller scale stuff, it's, I don't know. It's a bad thing because they would have to sit back and go, oh, I was wrong. And I've been wrong for like 3 years about this. And nobody ever wants to admit that.
Yeah.
So cognitive dissonance, they'll find something, that agrees with them, and they'll keep doing it.
I got a copy of the Mormon Bible. I got a bunch of material on the Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that, and I read up on them. Yeah. So now I could legitimately, I don't want to debate, but I could have a conversation about it and be like, the reason why I don't believe in this is because you believe in this, and I believe in this. Boom.
Yeah.
Some people are just like, you're not a Christian, so I don't want to mirror. You know what I mean? Some people are just so in their bubble, but to me, it's like you're making yourself look like an idiot.
Right.
It's like, to me, it's the same instance of, I used to be real picky about food without eating it. It's the same thing. It's like, how can you say you don't like something if you've never tried it?
Oh, I've been around a lot of people like that. They're like, I don't like that. Have you ever had it? No.
And you're like, really?
I'm like, whoa.
What? Yeah. There are a few things like raw oysters. I've never had, but I know personally I would just, I will, no. You know what I mean?
That's the same thing, dude. Nope. I'm going to have to get you to try them.
No. As a kid, I used to eat oysters, but then one day that was only fried. But then one day I used to pop the whole thing in my mouth. But then that one day you only ate half, and when you look back in there,
you can't eat half oyster.
You can't. You cannot.
I like oysters though, man. They're good.
They did come out. I think they're not really an aphrodisiac.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched this video the other day about food myths, and that was one of them.
Wow.
So yeah, sorry.
I didn't know that.
Sorry to bust your dates out in your bubble.
Right before I get my girl here, I just slam a bunch of oysters.
So funny.
Why is it stinking here? Oh, don't worry about that, baby.
Just to even see people eat them is just one of those things, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, even if I was thinking the other day, it's like, even if we did what was I taste, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
You don't think you could do it?
I don't think I could do it.
Dude, I love them. Like I like the way they taste.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of like the cooked ones.
A lot of people, Peg Leg Pizza around the corner.
Yeah.
A lot of people go there for their baked ones. They do have like all these different.
I do. Okay, I do like the baked with like the cheese.
Yeah,
and
they do
spices.
like.
Yeah, I could do those.
They have Oscar kind and with spinach in them, so it's like a big delicacy here.
Yeah,
And then there's certain months. I think December's one of the months. I think it's the months that end in R. I think that's what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like July, you're not supposed to. But now, with the refrigeration and the ice and everything, I mean, it's okay because I ate them during the summer.
Have you ever had food poisoning?
Yes, I have. It's the sickest I've ever been. Now, not like, I went to Taco Bell, I ate something bad, and I was a little bit sick that night.
People tell me it's like death.
Actual food poisoning. They're like, I got food poisoning last night. You didn't, because you wouldn't be talking to me right now.
You'd be on the toilet right now.
Dude, it is, If I ever had
it lasts about 24 hours, though, doesn't it?
Oh, man, mine lasted probably 2 days. But
what was it?
It couldn't have lasted. All right, so I'm up in going to school in Montevallo.
Where we at time was? Where we at?
20 minutes.
Okay.
Up in Montevallo, where I went to school at, right, in college. Well, my other sister lives up there, and I was in a fraternity. I was staying at the fraternity house, and so I think maybe I would drive up to see her because she graduated from there.
Yeah.
And it's the only reason why I went to school, basically. Yeah. And she was cooking hamburgers one night. Well, I got there a little late, and Thomas, who's her husband now, might have been her boyfriend at the time. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was. So anyway, these are small details. I'll just get to it, dude. They were having hamburgers, and anyway, they were done. And he's like, we can cook you one real quick. The grill's still hot, la-da-da-da. So I went out there, cooked it, and the light was broken outside.
So you didn't know how it was.
So, and I thought, I like mine a little pink in the middle.
Me too.
But, if you wait for, like, if you take a hamburger off and it's pink in the middle, but then you wait a little while and you cut it after it cools off, you can see, whoa, this thing is really pink.
Yeah.
Well, I flipped it a few times, thought it was done, ate it, went back, and I was seeing this girl at the time. Dude, and we were just starting to hit it off, if that makes sense. Like, we just started doing stuff. So, man, I rushed back down to Montebello, and we went out. And so we're at the bar. I'm still feeling okay. Drink a little bit. Take her back. And I'm like...
Well, it's like a romantic comedy gone bad.
Well, I'm just like, I'm not feeling too good. But I went ahead and pushed through. And so I go to sleep, right? And then about 3 a.m. rolls around. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't feel good at all. Like, this is weird. And I slept in lofts.
Yeah.
So you had to climb down a ladder. So I climb down. And I go in the bathroom, and I'm like, am I going to throw up or take a crap?
Or both.
Dude.
Both?
It was so bad.
Was it both?
Oh, it was definitely both.
At the same time? Yeah.
And then you go, like, an hour later, like, it's 4 something now, and I'm just miserable in there, dude. And I'm just sitting there. And then you would, it's the first time I've ever had it, they see the picture comes out of both the ends kind of thing. First time ever.
Yeah.
And probably, I can't remember another time. And then... what makes it so bad, dude, is the next day. I got back in bed, and I was like, oh, crap. Well, I had a couch in my room underneath us and TV and all that cool stuff. And then I climbed back up there, and I was like, hey, look, I'm going to go lay on the couch because I'm sick.
Yeah.
And so lay down, and she gets up, a few hours later and goes to the store and gets me these 3 big old 32-ounce Gatorades and the red ones. And then I was like, look, I'm sick. Go do whatever you got to do, right? So I pound these 3 throughout the day. I'm having crazy dreams, and I'm sick. I run out of food because you can't keep anything down. Even if you drink water, you're going to throw it right back up. I'm dehydrated. My mouth is all dry. I'm scared to drink water at this point. I got to be at work at 6 o'clock. So I work from 6 to 10 or whatever at Radio Shack. And I was like, oh, crap, I can't drive. So I finally get my buddy who lived down the hall from me to drive me up there, and I'm like throwing up bile, like your stomach, like the yellow stuff, and it's just and I'm driving. I finally just get it up, and then after that, like once I could finally just throw up a little bit of something, I would feel good for 5-6 minutes, and then the flop would come back down. And my boss thought I was bullshitting, so thought I was just full of crap. And he's like, no, you're not leaving, Bubba. Go get the customers. So I'm like dealing with customers. I finally told the lady, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And I went to the bathroom. And Rusty, my buddy, had to shut the door to the thing. Well, they had a little dock in the box right down the hill from where I worked. And it might not have been 6, dude, now that I think about it, because I feel like it was daylight when I got there. So anyway, either way, it was that afternoon. So I walked down to the dock in the box, and dude, we were slammed. I had to leave Rusty there by himself. And got it. They checked everything. And then, not 2 days later, I smashed my phone. Dude, I went to the dock in the box 3 times in like 5 days. They gave me 2 shots, sent me home. But that was by far
the worst.
The sickest I've ever been. The most sick, or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, I got food poisoning. Oh, really? How long were you out for? Oh, I just didn't feel good after I ate that. Then you didn't get food poisoning.
That's true.
You just ate some stuff that like hurt your stomach. But true, because I just ate that raw meat, dude, and the bacteria, dude, it fucked me up.
I can't take it.
Ugh.
Golden Corral is the only place that, like, I'm thinking, like, if I get sick at a place, okay, just like, it could be a one-off thing. Mm-hmm. But if it does it, like, twice, or, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm done. So, like, which I'm not a buffet person anyway, but my grandmother and my family used to love to go to Golden Corral, and we went there for our work. One of my coworkers was leaving, or it was a Christmas thing, something like that. But it was so bad. I'm talking about, like, just twice in a row. I was like, okay, maybe I've been 3 times. I was like, maybe I'll give it a third chance. That, and then there's this place in Pensacola, is just a Philly cheesesteak place. Everybody likes it because they said it's literally like going to Philadelphia. Makes me sick as a dog. So it's just random things here and there. You know what I mean? And it's the thing. It's not like Golden Corral. Like the food was good.
Yeah.
Like your hamburger was probably good. You know what I mean? But then later.
I know, dude. I might have had 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it could, if I would have just probably had half of one, I'd have got a little sick. But.
That's one reason why I don't cook a lot, because I have this fear of food poisoning. Ugh. I'm always afraid of like salmonella.
Oh, yeah.
Like horrible. Like me, like I love my steaks rare and I love my burgers rare. But if I'm cooking it myself, I'm like, because I'm always afraid of, especially chicken.
Ever since then, dude, I'm the same. I will overcook. Yeah,
and it sucks because I don't like it overcooked, but I'm so afraid. But my friend told me to invest in a digital thermometer, and then and they'll tell you online what each needs to be.
Yeah,
and so that helps.
Yeah, that's how we smoke like Boston butts and stuff. Yeah, and it's cool, man, because it sends it. There's an app you download on your phone. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I never thought about that with chicken and stuff.
It's true. On that note.
Yeah, man.
On that note, before we all start throwing up, I can even hear like people talking about throwing. Then I'm like, my mouth's like, it's gross.
Dude, it's gross, man.
I can't take it.
Yeah, and you got to get out of it. You got to go to trivia, don't you?
Trivia time, holiday trivia,
dude. Last night, when you told me about those $3 things, and then I saw everything. Everything is $3.
Yeah,
I'm like, because most times it's like drinks. No. They're like, no, everything, and I'm like. Okay.
Martinis, everything.
Dude, honestly, I might ease down there because I'm hungry.
I mean, the food, you get you some of that brie dip, you'll be happy. Brie dip and some $3 beers and stuff.
I don't know. I need to do some work. Anyway, we're going to talk about this afterwards.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
Check us out. Let us know how you're listening to us, too.
Yeah.
Whether it's thumbs up, hopefully not thumbs down, but
yeah.
If it's on YouTube, you listen to us, or iTunes, Google Play. Any of those many, many ways to rock out.
Yeah, and be sure to hit the like button, too, because that gets us up in the rankings. And then where can they find us, Jeremy?
They can find us on YouTube. Not yet Spotify. Almost there.
We're working on Spotify. As soon as we get the email, we're
Google
good.
Play.
Yep.
iTunes. And SoundCloud.
Yep.
I always forget about SoundCloud.
And I just signed up.
Stitcher?
Yep.
We're on Stitcher now.
Yeah.
Look at there.
So I think Titties and Fruitcake episode, or Fruitcake and Titties.
One of the other.
I don't remember. Anyway, I think that episode's
Apples
on
and
there.
Oranges.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See y'all in the
next one.
In the next one.